Hello, welcome to Spread Book Joy. Today I'm reviewing The Last Bear by Hannah Gold. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, a qualified primary school teacher who loves to share great children's literature for home or school, or any adults who might like to read it, but I also love to talk about my own reading. And if you like this video by the end of it, maybe consider subscribing. If you want more middle grade recommendations, I've got a great playlist building up, which I will put a link to in the description box below. The Last Bear is a lovely middle grade story, really well written, and it's all about a girl befriending a polar bear, as you can see from the dust jacket. I mean, how beautiful is this? The artwork within it, because Levi Pinfold, who's the illustrator, has illustrated throughout the book. Artwork is stunning in this book, and if you get the hardback as well, I always love to look under the dust jackets for hidden treasure, and you are really rewarded. Look at that, lovely. Really beautifully produced book. So The Last Bear is all around a girl called April who befriends a polar bear who she names Bear. Now what happens is April's father is a climate change scientist, and he's assigned 6 months in the Arctic Circle on a place called Bear Island in order to monitor the changing sea temperatures. April's taken along with him, and April is a really lonely child. We find out that April's mother has passed away some years before, and her father is immersed in his work. And whilst they do have a good relationship, her father is still grieving and finding it very, very difficult to take care of April in the way that she needs to be taken care of. We learn that April finds school a very lonely place. Other children find her strange. She loves animals. She's a vegetarian. She cuts her own hair. Her clothes and her house are really quite grubby because her father is just immersed in her work all the time, and April spends a lot of time alone and a lot of time taking care of herself. So she's really quite neglected. When they get to Bear Island, she thinks they're going to be spending 6 months, just the two of them alone on this island, so it's going to be a really good opportunity for them to spend time together. However, when they get there, April discovers that there is so much work for her father to do that he is just locked away working 12 hours a day, and all she does is a bit of school, what she calls school in the morning. Her father's brought a set of encyclopedias for her to just read through as part of her schooling while she's away, and then she explores the island on her own. She asks her father, why is it called Bear Island? Are there any bears there? And he said, no, there are no more bears on Bear Island. Once upon a time, polar bears would migrate using polar ice caps, which extended that far south to hunt. And now the polar ice caps have melted, bears can no longer reach Bear Island to go hunting, which is really tragic. But as she's exploring, she discovers there is a bear left on Bear Island, and this is an actual wild polar bear. She finds out that Bear is starving. She names him Bear, and slowly but surely, bit by bit, by feeding him and helping him, because he's got something wrapped around his paw, because there is also plastic on the island, she gains Bear's trust and they become really good friends. Now, he is a wild polar bear. He's not a bear. It's not a bear like in Northern Lights that can talk. It's not magical in any way, but it is an element of fantasy, because quite frankly, if there were a starving wild polar bear and a little girl, she'd get eaten. And that kind of didn't sit right with me as an adult reading it all the way through. I kept thinking about this message of like a young child making friends with an actual polar bear. And Hannah Gold at the end does put a note saying this is not advisable and it would never be something that could happen in the wild. It's just a sort of, a device for telling the story, and also for making us really connect emotionally with these animals who have been devastated by climate change. They're one of the first real victims of climate change. We've all seen the heartbreaking images of starving polar bears because as their hunting grounds are depleted and diminished. It's just heartbreaking. And using polar bears as a vehicle to educate children around climate change, using the relationship between April and Bear to make us empathise and connect with this creature, this big, noble, beautiful creature, I thought was a really great device. But yeah, it did make me feel a bit uncomfortable every time she approached him. So yeah, Hannah Gold does make it clear that this is pure fantasy and would never happen, which is quite good, because imagine if you're a child living in the Arctic Circle where poor old polar bears have started trying to encroach on human territory to hunt now and find food, haven't they? So yeah, I'm glad that she did mention that. But the book is really beautifully written. It's illustrated throughout, as I've said, with these stunning illustrations by Levi Pinfold. It's a quick read, you get immersed in it straight away. April as a character is a very, very resourceful little girl. She's takes joy in the natural world, and so through her eyes, children are given a real crash course in the devastating effects of not only climate change but plastic pollution, and how far this is such a remote island, and she goes litter picking because there's plastic washed up on the beach, and it really drives home that message that no matter how small an individual we are, we've all got a part to play. There's some really stunning imagery throughout the book when Hannah Gold describes the island and the delight they take in it, and there's something quite magical in about the way that April communicates with Bear, and I think it was really well realised, this relationship. The story would be really suitable for children aged 8 up. I think it's suitable for children from the age of 8 right through to secondary, so maybe children of 12, 13, 14 would still enjoy this book, and I think adults would also enjoy the book if you can suspend your disbelief about a girl befriending a wild polar bear, because I found that a bit tricky for me reading it as an adult. But yeah, I think it was a lovely book. It's a debut novel by Hannah Gold, so I'm looking forward to reviewing more books by her in the future. If you liked this review and you'd like to see more reviews from me, please consider subscribing if you've not done so already, and hopefully I will see you again here soon. Bye!